thought-provoking tech. I'm Zach, and this is Casual Friday. This is the very first episode of Casual Friday, so I'm excited for that. In Casual Friday, I'll be kind of doing multiple different things, from kind of discussing comments and questions that people have had on my videos and projects that I've published, as well as kind of discussing the week, wrapping up the week, or however long it's been since the last Casual Friday episode. I don't know how often I'll be doing these, if it'll be a weekly thing or a monthly thing, or however I end up doing this. I will also possibly give sneak peeks of kind of what I'm doing, the projects that I'm working on, kind of just show off the stages of the projects, and if I've had any progress that I haven't made a video about or something along those lines, as well as picking a couple select news articles or just articles in general, or projects that I found on the web that I felt really deserved to be discussed about some of the major stuff. I might be working on a podcast in the future. I haven't decided that for sure. It's kind of still in the planning phase. So if that does happen, that'll be where the majority of kind of the I'll be discussing kind of the news and stuff going on. But this will be kind of a area for just some quick snippets and more maybe in depth or deep dives on a single article or piece of news. So I don't have a lot of the other stuff to go over right now for the very first episode. So in this episode, I'm going to be discussing the recent Tesla news that Tesla can no longer sell directly in Missouri. But before I dive into that, I was just going to kind of introduce Casual Fridays, and eventually Casual Fridays will be a kind of live show that will be occurring at a regular time, and I'll try to keep it at a regular period, where that's a weekly or every other week or what. I haven't decided that. Once I do decide that, I will make sure that I let people know, and that's when it'll become live streamed instead of a recorded show that I publish straight to YouTube. So now on to the Tesla discussion at hand. Before this news broke, I actually had no clue that Tesla was banned from selling directly in quite a few states. This map here, made by Mojo Motors, is quite outdated. It's from April of 2015, so about 16 months or whatever that comes out to be. But it shows all these states in red have been banned. Now Missouri is now one of those red states now that have banned Tesla from selling directly. When I first heard about this was a very confusing announcement, and I was kind of wondering why the judge ruled in favor of banning Tesla from selling directly. It seemed completely backwards to prevent a manufacturer from selling directly. It seemed to go against competition and capitalism kind of in general. So I decided to dive a little deeper and kind of find out why these laws were around that the judge used to enforce this ban on Tesla motors being able to be sold directly to consumers in Missouri. So I have two main articles that I found in my kind of research that I really felt kind of illustrated the issue that Tesla is facing. So the first article, I have cut like 3 snippets from it from Engadget. You can kind of see the link on your screen. I will also put that link in the description below so you can read the full article. It is from July of 2014, so a little over 2 years ago. This was already a issue from some states already banning the direct sale of Teslas. And this first article kind of details why these laws were first put into place, and the reasoning behind the laws that were very pro dealership. So in 1920, for instance, the U.S. economy went into a deep recession, but Henry Ford kept his factories running at full tilt and forced thousands of Ford dealers around the country to buy new cars that they had little chance of selling. The dealers knew that if they said no, they'd never see a Model T again, so they ate their inventory. A decade later, when the Great Depression hit, Ford and GM used the same strategy to help keep the production lines going. They turned their dealers into a cushion against hard times. So that's a snippet from The New Yorker, which is actually published in 2009, that kind of gives you a look to the laws that the judge, or that these rulings that have banned Tesla from being sold directly kind of originated from. So if they kind of already have this baseline established to use dealerships, why did Tesla decide to go on their own to sell directly? I'm completely for it, but why did they choose to go along this path? So this little snippet from Musk in a company blog in March of 2014 kind of illustrates his viewpoint for why Tesla was going to sell directly. So here's a little quote directly from Elon. The reason that we did not choose to do this is that the auto dealers have a fundamental conflict of interest between promoting gasoline cars, which constitute virtually all of their revenue, and electric cars, which constitute virtually none. Now the quote does go on, and as you can do, you can continue reading it, but that kind of just proves the point that dealerships will push kind of what they are good at doing. A lot of people have trouble with change, and a lot of people are going to be used to buying the Fords and the GMs. And in the past, Tesla was a lesser known name. Now that they've become more widespread, they're more, universally known among consumers. But his point still stands. There are other manufacturers, which the second article from the FTC that I found points out one of those manufacturers. And I found a couple other in my research that when I kind of was diving deeper into why the heck this was even a issue for Tesla. But you can see that the main issue here that Tesla and other manufacturers of newer technology and brand new dealerships or brand new manufacturers that haven't made a name yet are facing is that dealerships and even consumers in general will kind of go with what they're used to, what they know already, which is gasoline cars and known manufacturers. Now there are some forward-thinking people and people that are more invested that do the research and find these new technologies and will invest in them and buy cars from the different manufacturers. But they are in the minority, and especially when Tesla was younger, I definitely see why they might have gone this path. And I totally support that they have decided that this is the path that they're going to take. So kind of to sum up the article from Engadget, here's a little snippet that kind of sums up exactly kind of the issue that Tesla is fighting against. So the entire argument against Tesla selling cars directly to consumers is that car dealers might have to face competition from the companies they currently represent. Now that's referencing if the laws were overturned that are currently being enforced to keep Tesla from selling directly. This would allow Ford and GM, Dodge, and all the other car manufacturers to sell directly to consumers. This would bypass the dealerships and put them in direct competition with the manufacturers, in direct competition with the dealers. In my opinion, competition is a good thing, and when we have competition, normally we almost always win. For reference, in kind of the area where my work is, I recently got a quote for Comcast Internet, and Google Fiber is in the general area, but the place where my work is, the fiber hood was not, didn't have enough reception to actually get Google Fiber in that little fiber hood, but there's Google Fiber all around and in the zip code in general. So in just a 6 month period between when Google Fiber wasn't there and when Google Fiber was there, Comcast speed that they are quoting doubled, and the price of the quote was reduced in half. You can kind of see just from that, just one example. Now, causation is not correlation and all that stuff, or correlation is not causation. Said that backwards, but whatever. It's been proven time and time again that competition is good for consumers, and that is generally the rule that we experience. So, why exactly, people are afraid to overturn these laws? Dealerships have been longstanding in the U.S. and they probably have quite a bit of political power, but a lot of companies like Ford and stuff, they might not even choose to compete directly with the dealerships. They might be completely happy. We don't even know, but they're keeping these laws enforced against Tesla and other manufacturers just so that this possibility never arises. So the FTC had a very good article too on the same thing, which I'll also link in the description below. Right off the bat, there's a very good quote. A fundamental principle of competition is that consumers, not regulation, let me make that a little bit bigger, is that consumers, not regulation, should determine what they buy and how they buy it. Consumers may benefit from the ability to buy cars directly from manufacturers, whether they are shopping for luxury cars or economy vehicles. The same competition principles should apply in either case. I think that is quite simply the best answer to the issue that Tesla is up against. Just with that short answer, the FTC kind of summed up why these laws should be repealed, and they've been very pro getting Tesla and other manufacturers the ability to sell directly. And you can kind of see in the article the Ilio Motors, that's another one that was brought up that is wanting to sell directly, and they're going to be facing the same problems. And another thing to keep in mind is that Apple is rumored to be developing a car, and if they do, and they decide to sell directly, they're going to be facing these same issues. So the fights that Tesla's fighting, and that we're starting to see become possibly even more widespread, the map is quite outdated, so some of those states may have overturned those laws or turned back the bans against Tesla selling directly since that map was made. But Missouri is a recent addition to banning, which seems to be going in the complete opposite direction of where we should be going with the laws that are put into place that affect dealerships, but might not actually be in the favor of us, the consumers. So that kind of sums up the Tesla article. I will put both of those articles. They're very good reads and kind of give a look into this kind of long battle that's been going on that maybe not everyone's aware of, and that we should really be aware of because it's kind of in our best interest, especially if you're interested in getting a Tesla car in the future. And with Tesla becoming more affordable with their kind of more mainstream models that they're introducing, this will be something that people might be encountering more on a more rapid basis as they're trying to buy cars directly in their state that no longer allows that or has banned those sales. I haven't gone super deep into this article or into this issue, like if there's any loopholes that you can like order online or anything along those lines of how you could still get a Tesla even if you're in an advanced state, or how you'd even order one and purchase one, where you have to drive to Kansas, or was Kansas even? No, Kansas. Okay, so if you're in Missouri, if you'd have to drive to Illinois or Tennessee to buy a Tesla, or what exactly you would have to do to get a Tesla. But that is something I'll be looking into in the future. But I just wanted to kind of raise awareness for people that have read this article and maybe give you a little more backstory and give you two great articles to kind of give you some more insight into this issue. So thanks for watching this episode of Casual Friday. I hope to be making lots more in the future. Stay tuned for some great projects. I have some cool 3D printing projects. I am actually working on a little live sign. Actually, one second. Alright, so one of the aspects of this show is showing stuff in progress. This is a little live sign, which I will be putting LEDs in with some electronics that will turn on when I am live. And the lights are kind of bright and kind of over bright, but this is orange and it's very thin there, and the blue's about 3 or 4 times thicker. So it kind of is meant to block the light. I should have made the blue a little thicker even, because it still lets light through. And I maybe should have made the orange a little bit thicker too, so that the light shown on camera was orange. That could be just the lighting on the webcam. But it is a project that I'm working. I just got done printing it. I'll have a video kind of on the printing process. And later I'll have a video on the actual production process of putting probably an Arduino with some lighting, maybe with a switch to turn it on or not, or maybe even like a web command or something I can send over and have it like completely controlled wireless. But that's a cool little project that I'm working on right now. So, thanks for watching Casual Friday. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big like. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. There'll be lots of stuff coming. I'm going to be trying to do 1 to 2 videos a week. I have a job and a family and all that. So some weeks I might not meet that goal, but I will be trying to get a couple of videos. I have a lot of projects in my head that I'm going to be working on, kind of Arduino and Raspberry Pi projects. So there'll be some pretty cool stuff coming out. I have kind of a tech tip series I've already started. That's going to be more of your kind of intro into some different aspects. We'll have some stuff on RDP out tomorrow probably, if I can get that edited and uploaded with my horrible internet. So once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later.